Hello and a very warm welcome. Thanks for tuning in to News 9 Live. I'm Kabir Naqvi and you're watching Top Stories, a show where we bring you stories that you might have missed out on during the course of the day, stories that are trending at this point in time. We're bringing you this special feature live from our studios here in the national capital, and I'm wearing this tailor-made jacket by none other than Paul Morley. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a huge story list to cover, so without further ado, the first story for you. The Rouse Avenue Court in Delhi has reserved its judgment in the case against Aam Aadmi Party leader and Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament Sanjay Singh. Now, Sanjay Singh was presented in the court just a day after his arrest by the Enforcement Directorate for his alleged involvement in the Delhi liquor policy case. The Enforcement Directorate has asked the court to grant a 10-day remand of Sanjay Singh to carry out further investigation and interrogation in the case. The Enforcement Directorate also informed the court about the searches that were conducted at Sanjay Singh's residence on Wednesday. Relatives of Sanjay Singh, his wife, his father had come out on record and said that the searches were conducted. However, there are only 4 rooms in the house. We don't know what took the agency so long. Meanwhile, whilst being taken to the court, Sanjay Singh targeted Prime Minister Narendra Modi, saying that his arrest was quote-unquote Modi ji's injustice and that Modi ji will lose the elections.
संजय जी कुछ कहेंगे अपने रेस्टिंग? संजय जी कुछ कहेंगे? संजय जी कुछ कहेंगे? है मोदी जी का, हारेंगे मोदी जी चुनाव हार रहे हैं, इसलिए संजय जी
आप सारे केस झूठे लगा रहे हैं ये लोग। तो कुछ इतने केस लगा लिए, इतनी जांच कर ली, कुछ निकलता तो है नहीं। तो इस जांच के खेल में टाइम ही खराब होता है, सबका टाइम खराब होता है, जांच एजेंसियों का भी टाइम खराब होता है, सरकार का भी। सबको काम करना चाहिए, देश के लिए काम करना चाहिए, तभी तो देश तरक्की करेगा। सबको झूठे केसों में फंसा के उससे तो देश तरक्की नहीं करेगा। जिस तरह के सवाल सुप्रीम कोर्ट आज पूछ रहा था, क्योंकि मामला सब जुडिस है, मेरे को कोई टिप्पणी उस पर नहीं करनी चाहिए, लेकिन जिस तरह के सवाल कर रहा था उससे तो मतलब एक तरह से एक फीलिंग आ रही थी कि गलत ही केस बना रखा है इन लोगों ने हमारे ऊपर।
Well, you just heard the Aam Aadmi Party supremo over there. Now, the Aam Aadmi Party, it also staged demonstrations and protests at various places across the country against the arrest of senior leader and Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament Sanjay Singh. In the national capital, Aam Aadmi Party leaders and workers were seen raising slogans and holding placards near the BJP headquarters. They accused the BJP-led central government of quote-unquote misusing probe agencies to target Aam Aadmi Party leaders. In Maharashtra, in Mumbai, the Aam Aadmi Party leaders and workers protested outside the Enforcement Directorate office. Mumbai police, however, detained several protesting leaders for not obtaining prior permission to conduct the protest. We also got you visuals from Chandigarh. In Chandigarh too, Aam Aadmi Party leaders protested outside the state BJP office. A scuffle ensued between the police and the protesting party workers. Tear gas shells to disperse the protesting crowd.
कल रात में संजय सिंह जी के परिवार से हम लोग मिले। जिस तरह से दिन भर सुबह से लेकर के और शाम तक ईडी की पूरी टीम संजय सिंह जी के घर को खंगालती रही, 1 रुपया नहीं मिला, फिर भी गिरफ्तार कर लिया। मतलब ये तो ऐसा लग रहा है कि जैसे इस देश में एक अघोषित तानाशाही लागू हो चुकी है। परसों पत्रकारों को उठा लिया घर में जाकर के, शाम को टीएमसी के माननीय महिला सांसद को जिस तरह से सबने स्क्रीन पे देखा घसीटा जा रहा था। तो ऐसे स्थिति में अगर भाजपा को ये लगता है कि इस तरह के अलोकतांत्रिक तरीके से विपक्ष की एजेंसियों के द्वारा आवाज वो दबा सकती है, संभव नहीं है। आज आम आदमी पार्टी इसके खिलाफ सड़क पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी के मुख्यालय पर प्रोटेस्ट करने जा रही है और आगे भी देश भर में भारतीय जनता पार्टी की तानाशाही के खिलाफ ये लड़ाई जारी रहेगी। क्योंकि भाजपा अगर ये सोचती है कि इस देश के लोग उनसे बेरोजगारी पर हिसाब नहीं मांगे। भाजपा अगर ये सोचती है कि उनसे लोग बेरोजगारी पर सवाल न उठाएं, वो सोचती है कि महंगाई पे कोई प्रश्न न उठाए, वो सोचती है कि भाजपा के भ्रष्टाचार पर कोई प्रश्न न उठाए, सदन में बोलेगा कोई सस्पेंड कर देंगे। जिस तरह से सदन के अंदर उनके सांसद चुने हुए सांसदों के साथ जिस तरह से बदतमीजियां कर रहे हैं, तो ये तो एक नए तरह का अराजकता का माहौल पैदा किया जा रहा है।
500 से ज्यादा अफसर उन्होंने लगाए हुए हैं, हजारों जगह पे छापे मार लिए, लेकिन 15 महीने बाद भी 1 रुपए के भ्रष्टाचार का सबूत ये देश के सामने नहीं रख पाए हैं। मनीष सिसोदिया जी के घर से कुछ नहीं मिला, उनके बैंक से कुछ नहीं मिला, ऑफिस से कुछ नहीं मिला, पैतृक गांव से कुछ नहीं मिला। अब संजय सिंह के घर से भी एक चवन्नी नहीं मिली। मैं तो चैलेंज कर रही हूँ भारतीय जनता पार्टी को कि वहां संजय सिंह जी के पैतृक गांव भी जाइए, उनके बैंक में भी जाइए, जहां जहां संजय सिंह जी पिछले 1 साल में गए हैं, आप जाके हर जगह रेड मारिए, वहां पर भी आपको एक चवन्नी नहीं मिलेगी। ये बिल्कुल साफ है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पास कोई प्रमाण नहीं है, लेकिन क्योंकि उनको चुनाव की हार का डर है, उनको पता है कि आने वाले राज्य चुनाव भी वो हार रहे हैं और लोकसभा का चुनाव भी वो इंडिया अलायंस के हाथों हार रहे हैं, जिसकी वजह से उनके खिलाफ आवाज उठाने वाले हर व्यक्ति को उनका मुंह बंद करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं।
कि ये वही अपना गांधी जी की समाधि है जिन्होंने हमेशा शराब का विरोध किया, मगर अरविंद केजरीवाल ने उनकी बात नहीं मानी। और आज मैं समझता हूँ गांधी जी की प्रेरणा से ही, उनके आशीर्वाद से ही आज ये सब हो रहा है कि उनकी शराब पॉलिसी पकड़ी गई, शराब का सारा अपना गोला पकड़ा गया और उनके नेता एक के बाद एक जो है जेल जा रहे हैं। वो दिन भी दूर नहीं है कि जब इस पूरे शराब पॉलिसी का मास्टरमाइंड जो है अरविंद केजरीवाल, वो भी जेल जाएगा, वो भी ईडी की गिरफ्त में आएगा, क्योंकि जितने सबूत मिले हैं, जितने गवाह हैं, जितने एविडेंस हैं, वो सारे एक ही इशारा करते हैं कि पूरा मास्टरमाइंड वो हमारे दिल्ली का मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल है।
ईडी का एक्शन होना, ये बहुत ज्यादा लोग इसको देख रहे हैं। अब आप आंकड़े देख लीजिए, पिछले 5-7 सालों में ईडी का जो एक्शन हुआ है, सो कॉल्ड एक्शन, ये 95% उन लोगों के ऊपर है जो केंद्र सरकार के खिलाफ में हैं। 95% वो लोग हैं जो भाजपा के विरोध में हैं। उन पर जो सो कॉल्ड एक्शन है, कितना जायज़ है कितना नहीं है, जनता इसको देख रही है। लेकिन ये बात बिल्कुल सच है कि चुनाव से ठीक पहले इस प्रकार की कार्रवाई जब होती है तो बड़े सवाल उठते हैं कि मंशा क्या है, ऑब्जेक्टिव क्या है, ये इन्वेस्टिगेटिव एजेंसी है या एक सरकार का एक जरिया है दबाव बनाने का, प्रेशर क्रिएट करने का। लगातार जो विपक्ष के नेताओं के ऊपर केसेस हो रहे हैं, छापे पड़ रहे हैं, रेड्स हो रही हैं, इनकम टैक्स की, सीबीआई की, ईडी की, ये कहीं ना कहीं सवाल को जन्म देते हैं कि ये हो क्यों रहा है चुनाव से ठीक पहले, और विशेष रूप से अपराधियों के, विरोधियों के ऊपर। जो सत्ता से जुड़े लोग हैं उन पर कोई जांच नहीं होती, कोई छापे नहीं मारे जाते, कोई नोटिस नहीं मिलता उनको। तो ये बात एक मुझे लगता है पब्लिक का संज्ञान ले रही है। अब कानून के दायरे में रहकर क्या परिणाम निकले मैं जानता हूँ, लेकिन परसेप्शन ये बना हुआ है कि केंद्र सरकार पूरी ताकतों का इस्तेमाल कर दबाव बनाकर विरोधियों को सबक सिखाने के मूड में है। लेकिन पब्लिक जो मतदाता है सब बातों को समझता है, और मुझे लग रहा है कि 2024 में सही निर्णय पब्लिक लेगी इस देश की।
Meanwhile, let's also tell our viewers that Sanjay Singh is the third top Aam Aadmi Party leader after Satyendra Jain and Manish Sisodia, the former health minister and education minister of Delhi, to now be arrested by the Enforcement Directorate. Manish Sisodia has been in jail for the last 8 months in the same Delhi liquor policy case. His bail plea was up for hearing today, but this is what happened. The Supreme Court today deferred the bail plea of Aam Aadmi Party leader and former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, this in the Delhi liquor policy case. The court has posted 12th of October as the next date of hearing on the plea. The Supreme Court, however, also observed that the chain of evidence had not been fully established in the case. It also asked the Enforcement Directorate to establish the money trail and also asked for proof of Manish Sisodia's involvement in that particular trail. The court also asked for proof against Sisodia, except for the statement of businessman Dinesh Arora, who is himself an accused in the case. Now, the court observed that if Manish Sisodia was not a part of the money trail, then how can he be involved in the money laundering case? The Supreme Court also clarified on its own remarks made on Wednesday. Reports had emerged that the Supreme Court had suggested that Aam Aadmi Party be made an accused in the liquor policy case. The court has, however, clarified that it did not ask for Aam Aadmi Party to be indicted, but had only raised a legal question, not to implicate a person or party. Meanwhile, some other stories coming out of the apex judicial institution. The Supreme Court has reserved the verdict on the reconsideration of its 1998 judgment granting immunity to lawmakers from prosecution for taking bribes. A 7-judge bench, including the Chief Justice of India himself, D.Y. Chandrachud, it was considering the correctness of the 1998 P.V. Narasimha Rao judgment. The court had questioned whether immunity should be granted to legislators accused of corruption merely on an apprehension that the absence of such immunity could be misused by the executive to target political opposition. On the second day of the hearing, intervener told the court that distinctions should be made on legislative functions of a legislator. This verdict was doubted in an appeal by Jharkhand Mukti Morcha leader Sita Soren, who was accused of accepting a bribe for a 2012 Rajya Sabha vote. She claimed immunity under Article 194, Subclause 2 of the Constitution, but the Jharkhand High Court dismissed her plea, leading to the challenge in the Supreme Court. Well, next up, a special CBI court today announced the quantum of punishment in the forced conversion case of national shooter Tara Shahdeo. Tara Shahdeo's husband, Rakibul Hassan Khan, also known as Ranjit Kohli, has been sentenced to life imprisonment. Rakibul's mother, Kausar Rani, has also been handed a 10-year imprisonment. Now, back in 2017, the CBI had filed a charge sheet in the case filed by the national-level shooter Tara Shahdeo. In her complaint, Shahdeo said that she had married to a man named Ranjit Kohli as per Hindi rituals in July 2014, but just after marriage, she found that the real name of her husband was actually Rakibul Hassan Khan. She accused Rakibul and his mother Kausar Rani of torturing her and forcing her to convert to Islam. Rakibul and his mother were arrested by the Jharkhand police in a joint operation with the special cell of Delhi police in August 2017. Rakibul was charged under various sections of violence against women and also IPC section 498A, which deals with dowry, and under section 295A, which deals with deliberate and malicious act intended to outrage religious feelings of a person. Back in 2018, Shahdeo was granted a divorce on grounds of cruelty.
हाथ जोड़ के सबको धन्यवाद कहूंगी, कोर्ट को, सीबीआई को, जिन्होंने मुझे न्याय दिलाया। और सबसे बड़ी बात, सिर्फ मेरे लिए न्याय नहीं है, हर बेटी के लिए देश में एक विश्वास जागा होगा कि जिसके साथ ऐसे लोग गलत कर रहे हैं उन सबको सजा मिलेगा, और ऐसे लोग डरेंगे कि शायद वो जो निडर होके करते आ रहे गलत, वो आगे कभी ऐसा ना करे किसी के साथ। आप सब मीडिया कर्मी को, हर किसी को धन्यवाद। न्यायालय पे पूरा यकीन था, आज उन्होंने ये फैसला देकर, ये मेरे केस में क्योंकि खुद जुडिशरी के लोग इन्वॉल्व थे, तो ये बहुत बड़ा जजमेंट है कि हर इंसान गलत नहीं होता है, फैसला आता है, और बस ये विश्वास सबका बना रहेगा एक आम इंसान का। इसके लिए धन्यवाद।
Well, we saw how those deaths at a government hospital occurred in Maharashtra, in Aurangabad, then in Nanded, and then later on in Nagpur as well. Meanwhile, a lot of people were saying that the government may shift the focus to the long weekend because private clinics and hospitals got shut down, which is why a lot of people started going to these government hospitals and medical clinics, which were unable to cater to more than they could handle. Meanwhile, actual developments on the ground. Take a look at this. An FIR has been registered against the acting dean and a doctor of the government hospital in Maharashtra's Nanded district, where 31 patients had died within a span of 48 hours. The FIR has been registered on the charge of culpable homicide not amounting to murder. The case has been lodged against Dr. Shikhar Dhawan, Government Medical College and Hospital's Dean, S.R. Vakode, and against a head pediatrician at the hospital. The case has been registered following a complaint by a person in connections with the death of his daughter and her newborn child at the facility.
It's a completely insensitive government. असंवेदनशील महाराष्ट्र की खोखे सरकार है। उनको घर तोड़ने के लिए, उनको पार्टी तोड़ने के लिए टाइम भी है और पैसा भी है। लेकिन दवाई के लिए इस सरकार के पास पैसा नहीं है। और ये सब मैं कहूंगी, इस सब की हत्या इस सरकार, ये खोखे सरकार ने इन सब की हत्या की है, क्योंकि यहाँ न दवाई वक्त पे है, न स्टाफ है, और इस सारी जिम्मेदारी ये खोखे सरकार की है।
Well, it seems like it's all politics. Those chess pieces are moving on the political chessboard. Take a look at how domestic politics is shaping up. In an election rally in Jodhpur, Prime Minister Modi hit out against the Congress government in the state. He alleged that the Congress has a lal diary, that is a record of the corruption that the party and its leaders have carried out. He told the people at the rally that for the secrets of the lal diary to come out, a BJP government should be formed in the state that will look into the alleged misdeeds of the Congress party.
भाइयों बहनों, मैं एक सवाल पूछूं आपको, उधर को पूछूं, आप जवाब देंगे? सबके सब देंगे? अच्छा, आप सबने लाल डायरी के बारे में सुना है? सुना है? माताओं बहनों ने भी सुना है, उधर बच्चियों ने भी सुना है। लोग कहते हैं कि लाल डायरी में कांग्रेस के करप्शन की हर काली करतूत उसमें है। आप मुझे बताइए, इस लाल डायरी के काले राज, सुनिए, इस लाल डायरी के काले राज खुलने चाहिए कि नहीं खुलने चाहिए? सब खुलकर के बाहर आना चाहिए कि नहीं आना चाहिए? हिसाब चुकता होना चाहिए कि नहीं होना चाहिए? बेईमानों को सजा होनी चाहिए कि नहीं होनी चाहिए? अब मुझे बताइए, क्या कांग्रेस सरकार लाल डायरी के राज खुलने देगी क्या? सामने आने देगी क्या? अगर ये सच जानना है तो कौन चाहिए? ये कौन चाहिए? भाजपा सरकार लानी होगी, भाजपा सरकार बनाना जरूरी है।
Meanwhile, whilst this was happening in Rajasthan, take a look at what was happening in pole-bound Madhya Pradesh. Congress's General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi, she held a rally in Madhya Pradesh's Dhar. Addressing the rally, she emphasized her long-standing connection with the region through her grandmother Indira Gandhi. Criticizing the Bharatiya Janata Party, Priyanka Gandhi pointed out that the state has witnessed over 250 scandals in the past 18 years. She highlighted that the state government is diminishing the powers of local panchayats and accused the Bharatiya Janata Party of engaging in corrupt practices.
आप अपने बच्चों को पाठशाला भी नहीं भेज सकते ये जानने के बिना कि वहां पे भी भ्रष्टाचार हुआ है। यहां व्यापम का घोटाला हुआ, 50 से अधिक लोगों की मौत हुई, इन्होंने जांच कराई। ये जो ईडी ये सबके घर भेज देते हैं एजेंसियों को, पता चला कि किसी ने इनके खिलाफ कुछ कह दिया, लिख दिया, एकदम ईडी पहुंच गई उनके घर। अरे यहां तक कि फिल्मों के अभिनेताओं के घर भी कल परसों ईडी पहुंच गई। यहां पे क्यों नहीं पहुंची? यहां जो इतने बड़े घोटाले हुए हैं, इनके अधिकारियों के घर में क्यों नहीं पहुंची? इनके नेताओं के घर में क्यों नहीं पहुंची? तो ये सवाल आपको पूछने हैं। जब मां नर्मदा के साथ घोटाला हो सकता है, भ्रष्टाचार हो सकता है, जब महाकाल की मूर्तियों के साथ सप्त ऋषियों की जो मूर्तियां हैं उन्हें स्थापित एक दिन किया, अगले दिन बह गई, इनके साथ जब भ्रष्टाचार हो सकता है, जब भगवान के साथ कोई घोटाला और भ्रष्टाचार करने की हिम्मत करता है, तो क्या समय नहीं आ गया है इनको बदल डालने का? बताइए। देखिए, देश की आंधी इस देश का नौजवान है। जाग जाओ मेरे भाइयों और बहनों, बचाने के लिए कोई आंधी नहीं आ रही है। आप खुद को बचाइए। ये जो आपके साथ हो रहा है ये गलत है। जो रोज रोज आप जी रहे हैं, आप संघर्ष कर रहे हैं, ये गलत है। मेरे नौजवान भाइयों, आप फीस देते हैं ट्यूशन की? देते हैं कि नहीं? जब आपको भर्ती की परीक्षा भरनी पड़ती है, आप संघर्ष करते हैं कि नहीं? माता पिता आपके लिए खेती करते हैं, नौकरी करते हैं, संघर्ष करके आपके लिए पैसे इकट्ठे करते कि आपकी फीस भरेंगे कि नहीं? तो क्यों इनको आपने इतनी हिम्मत दे दी है कि जब आप परीक्षा देने जाते हैं तो बार बार उस भर्ती की परीक्षाओं में ये घोटाला करते हैं? मैंने उत्तर प्रदेश में देखा है, मैंने उत्तर प्रदेश में ऐसे नौजवान देखे हैं जिनके 10-10 साल गुजर गए हैं, एक परीक्षा दी।
Well, shifting our focus next to the state of Tamil Nadu, where many are saying that Bharatiya Janata Party AIA-DMK patch-up may be on the cards. The Bharatiya Janata Party's central leadership may have decided to scale down its Tamil Nadu President K. Annamalai's profile, as his comments about AIA-DMK leaders led to the breakup of the alliance between the two parties, the BJP and AIA-DMK. Now, Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman had been placed in charge of monitoring the affairs of the state party unit in the state. There is a general impression in Tamil Nadu political circles that Annamalai has been asked to keep a low profile, pending an exercise by Sitharaman to assess the reasons for the breakdown of the relationship with the AIA-DMK in Tamil Nadu.
Our single-minded focus is to strengthen the party, keep strengthening, keep marching towards 2024. We are very confident whatever the shape and form NDA would take place now or in the coming 7 months, Tamil Nadu will give a decisive mandate for Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
In 2024,
all our energy will be utilized to bring the misgovern and the misrulings of DMK to the floor, then wasting our energy attacking any other person.
Thank you. In a different way, being a major partner, their presence in the alliance will be an advantage for you.
So no, sir. We haven't dealt. You have to understand. It is the parties that they have taken their individual decision. They have taken a decision, and they are the right people to answer why they made that decision. And many a time we know archery, where the place you aim and the place you see are different. So the context of decision making, what somebody says and what somebody is intended are different. So I don't want to comment plainly by what they have mentioned in a press statement that this is the reason.
Ladies and gentlemen, bringing you a latest development vis-a-vis Sanjay Singh's arrest by the Enforcement Directorate yesterday in the Delhi liquor policy case. Now, the Rouse Avenue Court in Delhi has given a 5-day remand to Aam Aadmi Party leader and Rajya Sabha MP Sanjay Singh. Sanjay Singh was presented in the court just a day after his arrest by the Enforcement Directorate for his alleged involvement in the Delhi liquor policy case. The ED had asked the court to grant a 10-day remand of Sanjay Singh to carry out further interrogation. Meanwhile, the Rouse Avenue Court has given a nod for a 5-day remand of Aam Aadmi Party leader and Rajya Sabha Member of Parliament Sanjay Singh to the probe agency. Well, shifting our focus back to the state of Madhya Pradesh, where the government has issued a notification introducing a 35% reservation for women in recruitment, except for the Forest Department. Now, this amendment to the Madhya Pradesh Civil Services Rules 1997 aims to provide greater opportunities for women in the state. The notification states, and I quote, "Notwithstanding any contained in any service rules, there shall be reserved 35% of all posts in the services under the state bracket except Forest Department in favor of women at the stage of direct recruitment," and also said that the reservation shall be horizontal and compartment wise as well. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan recently announced that 35% of vacancies in police and other government jobs will be reserved for women. He also mentioned that 50% of teaching posts will be reserved for women as well. Shivraj Singh Chauhan further expedited the transfer of financial assistance to beneficiaries under the Ladli Behna Yojana, a welfare scheme for women. Under this scheme, the state government provides 1,250 rupees per month to every beneficiary. These initiatives are seen as efforts by the BJP government to reach out to women voters in the poll-bound state of Madhya Pradesh. Next up, Union Home Minister Amit Shah attended the third anti-terror conference hosted by the National Investigation Agency. He expressed the firm commitment of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government to eliminate terrorism from India. The Home Minister inaugurated the conference at the Sushma Swaraj Bhavan in Delhi's Chanakyapuri area. The conference aimed to address various issues related to countering terrorism and develop a roadmap to combat it in coordination with other agencies and state forces. Key topics discussed at the conference included counter-terrorism issues such as financing, interstate connections, foreign links to banned terror groups, and the use of emerging technologies for terrorism financing. The establishment of mechanisms for sharing information and best practices between states was also something that was on the agenda. Well, next, shifting our focus to income tax raids that are being carried out across the country. Today, the Income Tax Department initiated a series of searches at more than 40 locations in Chennai. The searches were carried out at the premises associated with DMK members of Parliament. Now, the searches were being carried out at many places, including some educational institutions as well. Now, Jagat Rakshakan represents Arokonam in the Lok Sabha. The raids were in respect to alleged tax evasion charges. And take a look at this. Recent data from the Consortium for Research on Agro-Ecosystem Monitoring and Modeling from Space has revealed a concerning increase in stubble burning incidents in northern India. The region, encompassing Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, witnessed a total of 682 stubble burning incidents from the 15th of September till the 2nd of October this year. This alarming figure surpasses the combined count of 633 incidents reported in the same period in 2021 and 2022. Now, CREAMS, the system managed by the Indian Agricultural Research Institute, suggests that the early retreat of the southwest monsoon from northern India and an early harvest have contributed to the surge in stubble burning across these 6 states. The Punjab government has committed to reducing paddy stubble burning by more than 50% this year compared to 2022 and aims to eliminate farm fires in 6 districts of the state. However, reports indicate a 65% increase in stubble burning cases in Punjab, reaching 456 incidents, with Amritsar district reporting the highest number at 333 incidents. In neighbouring Haryana, the rise in stubble burning is astonishing, with a surge of over 1,000%. The state reported 120 cases this year, a stark contrast to the mere 9 cases recorded in the previous year. Haryana's Chief Secretary, Sanjeev Kaushal, emphasized the need for decisive actions against violators of anti-stubble burning regulations. Comparing data from the year 2022, this year saw a significant increase in stubble burning incidents in other states as well. Uttar Pradesh reported 57 cases, while Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan reported 30 and 18 cases respectively. The union government has allocated rupees 600 crore to states for the management of paddy straws, with approximately 105 crore rupees dispersed to Punjab and rupees 90 crore allocated for the state of Haryana. Despite these efforts, addressing the issue of stubble burning remains a pressing challenge, demanding sustained measures and awareness campaigns to promote eco-friendly alternatives, especially amongst the farmers. Well, next up, shifting our focus to some global updates as well. This one coming out of Nagorno-Karabakh. Take a look at this one. In recent developments, Azerbaijan has detained a former president of Nagorno-Karabakh following the region's reintegration with Azerbaijan after a military offensive. Now, this move has led to condemnation from Armenia. Arayik Harutyunan, the ex-leader the ex-president of Karabakh, faces allegations of aggressive war and war crimes. Other former authorities and key military figures from Karabakh have also been detained. Now Armenia vows to protect their rights through international avenues. The breakaway region agreed to disarm and reintegrate after Baku's military operation in September this year. Talks are ongoing, but criminal investigations have been initiated against hundreds of separatist officials. The United Nations Human Rights Office calls for the detainees' protection as well. Meanwhile, the European Parliament, it is expected to call for sanctions against Azerbaijan over the seizure of the ethnic Armenian enclave of Nagorno-Karabakh just last month. But Baku's long lobbying reach in Europe and its crucial gas reserves mean the European Union countries will probably ignore the MEP's demand. Azerbaijan launched a lightning strike into the breakaway territory in September, forcing about 1 lakh people to flee. The crisis has exposed a deep division over Europe's attitude to the two parties. While European politicians are often willing to take Armenia's side in symbolic appeals and expressions of concern, Azerbaijan has established more hard power, not least because the EU is increasingly turning into Caspian Sea gas as an alternative to Russia after the Kremlin's invasion of Ukraine. And shifting our focus very quickly to Iran. The Islamic Republic of Iran Army has recently embarked on a large-scale drone exercise. This exercise showcasing its burgeoning capabilities in drone technology. This comprehensive drill, featuring hundreds of advanced drones for reconnaissance and combat, signifies a significant advancement in Iran's military capabilities and prowess. Iran's army initiated a large-scale drone drill, deploying both reconnaissance and combat drones in the Persian Gulf, the Sea of Oman, and over its territory. Vice Admiral Mohammad Mosavi, the Deputy of Army Operations and spokesman for the Army's 1401 Joint Drone Exercise, reported that surveillance drones operated by the 4 units of the Army, the Ground Force, Navy, Air Force, and the Air Defense Force successfully completed their intelligence gathering and patrol missions on the first day of the 2-day drone tech drill. And from showcasing their military prowess, a report coming out of Tehran's metro, albeit a little tragic this time around. A teenager in Iran is in a coma following an alleged assault by Iranian security forces, drawing global concern. Germany's foreign minister has also called the incident intolerable. A rights group seeks an international investigation. Now, Iranian authorities claim that the teen, the video, the CCTV footage of that episode that you're seeing, the Iranian authorities claim that the teen had fainted from low blood pressure, denying security forces involvement. Lots of other media reports out there suggesting that this was in fact a lot of violence that was carried out inside the metro bogie. Now tensions persist since last year's unrest following the death of Mahsa Amini in Iran as well. Acting US Special Envoy on Iran, Abraham Pali, expressed shock and concern as well. Social media is abuzz with video purportedly showing the incident. Calls for investigation and accountability continue. This is that particular CCTV footage, ladies and gentlemen. Shifting our focus to conflict-ridden West Bank, where in a tragic turn of events, Israeli forces clashed with the Palestinians in the occupied West Bank, resulting in the loss of lives. The Palestinian Health Ministry reported that 2 individuals fell victim to the violence, identified as Abdul Rahman Atta and Hutaifa Faris. These young men were fatally wounded by what the ministry referred to as occupation bullets near Tulkarem in the northern West Bank. According to the Israeli military, the incident unfolded when soldiers identified a quote-unquote suspicious vehicle near Shufa village, located in the Tulkarem area. A fierce gunfight ensued as the soldiers engaged with the occupants of the vehicle. Now, tragically, this exchange of fire led to the neutralization of 2 individuals described by the Israeli military as quote-unquote terrorists. This incident comes on the heels of reports indicating that an Israeli vehicle had been targeted in the same region as stated in the army's official statement. Now, the West Bank has experienced a distressing surge in violence in the recent months, an area marked by its long-standing occupation by Israel since the 1967 Arab-Israeli conflict. Israeli forces have responded with a significant number of raids, while Palestinian attacks against Israelis have also seen an alarming rise. Adding to the complexity of the situation, Israeli settlers have initiated an increasing number of attacks against Palestinians and their properties. Tragically, the ongoing conflict has resulted in a high death toll so far this year, with at least 245 Palestinians, 32 Israelis and 2 foreigners losing their lives. This grim tally includes both combatants and civilians, mind you, underscoring the deeply troubling and volatile nature of the situation as acknowledged by officials both from the Israeli and the Palestinian sides. Next up, a story that talks about climate change and global warming. It must be talked about every day. Take a look at this. In a surprising revelation, researchers have announced that France's tallest mountain, the Mont Blanc, has experienced a significant reduction in height over the past 2 years, measuring at about 4,805 meters, which is about 15,700 feet. This decline of about 2.22 meters, a decline of 7.2 feet, it has raised questions about the factors contributing to this change. Experts suggest that lower precipitation during the summer months may be a key factor in this phenomenon. While Mont Blanc's rocky peak stands at 4,792 meters above sea level, its thick ice and snow cover fluctuate from year to year due to varying wind and weather conditions. Researchers have been meticulously measuring the mountain's height every 2 years since 2001, with the aim of better understanding the impact of climate change on the Alps. Despite these measurements, it's important to note that the data collected is primarily intended for future generations and scientific analysis. Interpretation of the data is left to the experts in the field, but to gather this essential data, a team of around 20 individuals embarked on an expedition in mid-September. Divided into 8 parties equipped with advanced tools and notably a drone as well, they meticulously carried out measurements over several days. This effort has revealed that summit's altitude and position are in a constant flux, with fluctuations of up to 5 meters. Now, while Mont Blanc's recent reduction in height is a matter of scientific interest, experts caution against drawing hasty conclusions or making sweeping statements based solely on this particular measurement. The dynamic nature of the mountain's elevation highlights the intricate and ever-changing relationship between climate, geography, and natural forces at play. Shifting our focus to Southeast Asia, where in Taiwan, Typhoon Koinu wreaked havoc, causing record-breaking winds and widespread power outages. The typhoon, which grazed the island's southern tip, marked the strongest winds ever recorded in Taiwan. At least one fatality was reported, an 84-year-old woman in Taichung City injured by shattered glass during the storm. The typhoon made landfall at Cape Eluanbi in southern Taiwan and gradually weakened as it moved into the Taiwan Strait. Residents faced terrifying moments as powerful winds toppled power poles and damaged homes. Orchid Island, an eastern volcanic islet, experienced wind gusts equivalent to 342.72 kilometers per hour, setting a new wind speed record for Taiwan as well. Approximately 2,400 homes on the Orchid Island lost power, and in elementary schools' classrooms were damaged as well. To prepare for Koinu's impact, authorities had closed schools and offices. 100+ flights to and from Taiwan have also been cancelled. Taiwan is no stranger to tropical storms, with climate change making storm paths harder to predict and intensifying their impact, leading to heavy rainfall, flash floods, and strong gusts, you name it. During the typhoon, streets in southern Taitung and Pingtung counties were deserted, with powerful winds causing street sign collapses and roof damage. Nearly 300 people were injured, mostly from falling trees. Power outages have affected nearly 330,000 homes across Taiwan, with efforts to restore electricity is certainly ongoing. Downed power lines lined in Pingtung's roadsides, requiring days of work to restore power fully. Over 200 international and domestic flights were cancelled, and about 3,000 individuals in mountainous areas were evacuated as a precaution. Now, Koinu is projected to weaken further as it approaches China's eastern Guangdong province. Hong Kong's weather observatory indicated that the city issued its lowest typhoon signal following last month's flooding triggered by heavy rainfall. Moving a little further over across Australia, but focusing on Eastern Australia, residents faced a daunting double threat as emergency services issued warnings to evacuate their homes due to impending floods. This alarming situation is unfolding just 48 hours after the same region in East Australia grappled with bushfires. Heavy rains caused by the Macalister River being swelled up in Victoria in Eastern Australia have significantly put the rural homes in jeopardy. David Baker, the Deputy Chief of the state's emergency service, expressed concern, stating that approximately 130 properties could be affected by this flood event. Consequently, an emergency warning was issued to prompt residents to take action. Overnight emergency services cautioned people to seek higher ground or avoid high-risk areas near the Macalister River and other flooded rivers in Victoria's Gippsland region, located to the east of Melbourne. Now, the timing of this flood emergency is particularly unsettling, as just 2 days earlier, firefighters had been battling bushfires across thousands of hectares in different parts of Gippsland. These fires had forced evacuations in numerous rural neighborhoods. Australia has experienced several wet years recently, leading experts to anticipate an exceptionally intense bushfire season during the upcoming Australian summer. Memories of the devastating black summer of 2019-2020 still haunt the nation, during which bushfires ravaged the eastern seaboard, destroying vast expanses of forests, claiming millions of animal lives and shrouding cities in thick smoke. And well, ladies and gentlemen, let's quickly race you past the latest Nobel Prizes. The Nobel Prize in Chemistry for 2023 had been conferred upon Mungi G. Bawendi, Louis E. Bruce, and Alexei I. Ekimov for their pioneering work on the discovery and synthesis of quantum dots. Quantum dots are minuscule nanoparticles whose unique properties are dedicated by their size. These quantum wonders have found wide-ranging applications, from enhancing the displays of visions and LED lamps to aiding surgeons in the precise removal of tumor tissues. The Nobel laureates in chemistry for 2023 have delved into the realm of quantum phenomena to create particles so diminutive that they play a vital role in the field of nanotechnology. And take a look at this. Norwegian author John Foss has won the Nobel Prize in Literature. The 2023 Nobel Prize recognizes Foss's innovative plays and prose pieces, celebrating his ability to articulate the inexpressible. The Swedish Academy in Stockholm praised his innovative plays and prose pieces, saying he gave voice to the unsayable. The prize is awarded for a body of work rather than a book. There is no shortlist, and it is notoriously difficult to predict. The Nobel Prize in Literature is a testament to a lifetime of literary achievement, distinguishing Foss for his profound contributions to the field. Established by Alfred Nobel, this prestigious honor acknowledges those who excel in literature's idealistic pursuits. Over its history, since 1901, the Nobel Prize in Literature has been awarded to 119 individuals, with only 17 of them being women.
Techniques in the wake of modernism. Semi-back of our time, he has also been acclaimed for his knowledge.
And let's also take a look at the shining Indian contingent at the Asian Games 2023 in Hangzhou. Lots of medals to talk about. The day 12 of the Asian Games 2023 began on a bright note for India, with medals coming in the sport and event of archery. India women's team of archery won the gold medal in the compound team archery final, defeating Chinese Taipei with a score of 230 to 229. The men's archery team doubled the jubilation as it also clinched gold in the compound archery team final. In squash, we were just showing you those visuals. The duo of Deepika Palikal and Harinder Pal Singh won the gold medal in the squash mixed doubles. However, Squash player Saurav Ghoshal had to settle for silver as he lost out in a close-fought final in the men's single squash event. On Wednesday, Olympic gold medalist Neeraj Chopra, India's golden boy, added another feather to its cap as he won the gold medal in the javelin throw final. The second position in the event of javelin throw too was secured by India's Kishore Jena, who recorded his personal best throw in the event. India's medal tally has now risen to a total of 85 with 21 gold medals, 32 silver medals and 32 bronze medals. Well, ladies and gentlemen, needless to say, this time around, the hashtag Is Bar 100 Ke Paar is certainly trending for the right reasons. Meanwhile, that's a wrap on this edition of Top Stories. This is Kabir Naqvi signing off from our studio here in the national capital, where we're styled by none other than Paul Mall. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you again next time. Lots more coming on News 9 Live. Don't go anywhere.
BrahMos. Stealthy, lethal, precise. It flies at 3 times the speed of sound and cuts through a warship like a hot knife through butter. China's navy has threatened its neighbors, and they are turning to the BrahMos for protection. The Warship Killer. This and more streaming on world's first news OTT, News 9 Plus. Download now.
Hello everyone, Namaskar. I'm music composer Ricky Cage. 3-time Grammy Award winner and a United Nations Goodwill Ambassador. And you're watching me on First Person on News 9 Plus.
This and more streaming now on the world's first news OTT, News 9 Plus. Download now.
Our climate is changing.
Climate change. Climate change. Climate change. Climate change.
The earth is getting warmer.
We are in a life or death struggle for our own safety today and our survival tomorrow.
Rising sea levels are damaging coastlines.
We're standing at an inflection point in world history.
This is not about some expensive, politically correct green act of bunny hugging or blah, blah, blah.
Climate change is the defining crisis of our time.
People and nations are suffering now.
And every day we delay, the cost of inaction increases.
Our planet has been wounded.
All is not well with our world.
Of course, we can still turn this around.
Let this be the start of a decade of transformative action.
The impacts of climate threaten to disrupt global food supplies. What we need is a new biotechnological revolution. A playbook that decouples growth from emissions. That revolution is gaining momentum.
We will unleash the creative power of our best science to build a better world.
Food. It's a fundamental right for the sustenance of human life. But it could soon run out. At the rate that we are eating, the world needs to grow as much as 70% more food.
We are likely to be at 10 billion by 2050. Nature in its natural form can provide food maximum for 4 billion people.
As we know it today, agriculture is a land, water, and energy-intensive industry.
More than 60% of our water goes into agriculture, leaving very little for domestic use or for the industry.
Forests, soils, and oceans are nature's carbon sinks. And with the conversion of forests into cropland for farming, agricultural expansion releases more carbon into the atmosphere. Take Brazil's Amazon. As the forest is cleared for farming, conditions become warmer and drier, which has led to worsening droughts.
We can see in this image from 2020 that the forest is still standing. In 2021, we can see here that the trees in this forest have already been cut.
There is a lot of smoke due to the fires in the area. You can clearly see from the plane that what looks like fog is actually smoke.
Too much water can become a problem too. A supertropical cyclone named Amphan struck the Bangladesh coast. It was followed by major floods that devastated rice crops across 26 districts and led to a significant shortfall in food. Harvests have been shrinking and pests have ravaged crops. Tearing across East Africa, hundreds of billions of locusts destroyed a bounty of vegetation.
These cyclones brought in moisture conditions for the breeding of locusts.
If this is not dealt quickly and timely, this will have an effect on the food security.
In cooler climates like Northern Europe, people eat tomatoes all year round, despite the local weather not being conducive to growing them.
When I first started working in England, all harvests were in October.
That's a really quite frighteningly short period of time.
The desire for a diverse range of food is driving up imports.
The food industry is a beast in terms of like carbon